STN Channel 2 News, we take a look back on the stories that made headlines from this year. See the campus reaction following Public Safety's announcement to arm some of their officers. And we'll look back at a number of renovations that took place this year throughout the school. Plus, we sat down with Catherine Black after being named the new Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. This is STN Channel 2's Year in Review. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to STN Channel 2's Year in Review. I'm Esha Kaufman. Tonight we look back at some of the big stories from this past year, starting with some changes that took place at the beginning of this fall semester. Public Safety made an announcement to campus stating that some of the officers would be carrying firearms. Providing guns for officers allows for a quick first response to emergency situations that could potentially unfold on campus.
Came down to the level of what does our community expect from our public safety department if there's a report. And again, let's not go to the active shooter person. There's an individual walking across campus with a blue shirt, tan pants, with a backpack. He's got a handgun inside of it. So you obviously gather the information. So realistically, do you expect unarmed public safety officers to confront somebody who is reported to be armed?
In a statement to the university, Vice President of Finance and Administration Arosha Jayawikrama stated, "There will be regularly scheduled continuing training for all armed officers, even more than what is required by the state for a public safety department, and will be equal to the standards followed by law enforcement." Some students feel unsafe with armed public safety officers on campus, while others understand the university's point of view for implementing these changes.
First off, these are college cops. These aren't actual they are sort of law enforcement, but they're not they're only for the campus. So why should they have guns?
Well, the easiest way to take down a man with a gun is to use a gun to take him down. And having the public safety officers who are right here on campus, with guns would be able to take down the shooter that much faster than the local police.
Ashley Kaufman, STN, Channel 2 News. In addition to the firearms, Public Safety has also incorporated new equipment this year, including body cameras and license plate recognition cameras. The university underwent a number of big changes and renovations this year, beginning with the University Commons. The Commons was redone inside and out over the summer with a new interior design and new menu options offered during each meal. This $10 million project took place this past summer. And the university bookstore was also redone over the summer break. The school redesigned the campus store to just one single floor, allowing for an extension of the school's architecture studio one floor below. Customers can now get all their books, supplies, and Hartford gear on the main floor. And finally, over winter break, the Village Market Deli and Zoko were removed to make way for a full Subway restaurant inside of Conover. The sandwich chain opened for a business at the start of the spring semester, offering the same menu and deals as any typical Subway. And now we have STN's Joseph Shankelpour in the studio. Joe, you had a great opportunity this past October. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That's right, Ashley. Well, Catherine Black was named the new Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences this past November, and I got the chance to sit down with her and speak with her about her plans for the college. In 1998 as an assistant professor of psychology and has served many roles since then, including Associate Dean for Budget and Finance. When Dean Joseph Volker decided to step down in December 2013, Black served as interim dean before being offered the permanent position.
Oh, I'm very excited about it. One of the things that I love about this place is the community of people I work with who are all very committed to the institution, but also committed to students and student learning and student success.
Like her colleagues, Black is committed to the students, and as dean will be able to make sure that they have the best college experience possible.
My job is really to support the work that is being done with students. So whether that's providing faculty development to our teachers so that they can improve their skills or enhance their teaching, or if that's to provide experiences for students, additional experiences beyond the classrooms.
Black has many plans to help the students succeed, including increasing the number of high-impact practices and providing more career preparation for A&S students.
When you're in some of the other colleges like business and engineering, the pathway between your major and a career is a little bit more straight and direct, but a liberal arts major is a little more fuzzy. And so what we're trying to do is give our students more direct pathways to careers.
In her first year, Dean Black has already made a number of changes to the college, including the creation of new student ambassador program to encourage prospective students to attend the university. Coming up next, we spoke with public safety after finding a fire extinguisher on campus not up to code. See what they had to say. And one university student got the opportunity of a lifetime to see the President's State of the Union address. We have a story. And the athletics department created a new way for Hawk fans to get connected at sports games. Find out what it is. SGN Channel 2's Year in Review will be right back after this.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. We have Rachel Sisto, with us now, who took on an investigative story this past year. Rachel, will you tell us a little bit more?
Well, Ashley, we were notified of a fire extinguisher inside GSU that had failed multiple inspections, so we went to find out if this was a safety concern to students in the building. There are panels like this installed across campus containing fire equipment in case of emergency. But what happens when the equipment inside just isn't up to snuff?
Typically, if it's something really, really bad where it's undercharged, it will be immediately taken out of service because obviously it won't work.
Every extinguisher on campus is inspected monthly to ensure they'll work if they're ever needed.
On a monthly basis, we're looking for make sure that it has a safety pin, tamper seal, that it's got a full charge, and that there's no physical damage to the cylinder.
Investigator Peeler says that the inspection tags can sometimes be misleading, and that just because an extinguisher failed its inspection doesn't mean it's unsafe.
If it's something small, like it's missing a tamper seal, we may not immediately take it out of service, especially if the gauge is okay.
And he says students shouldn't worry if the panel says there's a fire hose inside, and there isn't one.
It's not missing. It's missing in the literal sense, but it's okay to be missing. The fire hose cabinets are old school. They're from like the 60s, 70s era, when fire hose was a common thing to put into the buildings instead of a sprinkler system or instead of fire extinguishers. Modern code doesn't require the hose to be there. In fact, it's more complicated to actually have the hose there than to not.
Rachel Sisto, SGN Channel 2 News.
Public safety reminds everybody not to stay behind and attempt to fight a fire, but to evacuate as soon as an alarm sounds. We're back now with SCN's Nicole DeMars. Nicole, you got a chance to talk to a student who had a pretty amazing opportunity.
Yeah, Ashley. Anthony Mendez was the guest of First Lady Michelle Obama to present to
see a State of the Union address, right?
Yeah, with President Barack Obama, and we talked to him to hear about the trip. An inspirational story with a remarkable outcome. Anthony Mendez is the epitome of resilience. At a young age, he was exposed to loss when his best friend was shot in 9th grade. The following year, his family was evicted and had to move to a homeless shelter hours away from his high school.
I had to commute 4 hours on the subway to just get to school. So I had to wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, wake everybody up, make sure everybody was all right to go to school. So the whole commute was rough because then after that, after school, I would have to practice and then go back all the way to Brooklyn.
Rather than letting his hardships drag him down, Mendez bounced back and joined a mentoring program his junior year. It was this program that brought him to the White House to meet Michelle Obama during his senior year of high school.
It was just 10 kids who like overcame obstacles in their high school career and how they like pushed forward and like persevered to make it into college. So that was like her Reach Higher initiative, and we were like part of that. So I felt blessed to be a part of that. So that was part of the reason why I got to go back to like the State of the Union.
Mendez got the call from the White House that he was invited to the State of the Union just one short week before the event. His favorite part about the trip was seeing another side of the President and the First Lady.
And it's funny to see them more as like a human being than just a First Lady. So having like a real connection with her and hearing her backstory is kind of amazing. So I'm glad I was able to go.
Nicole DeMars, STN Channel 2 News.
Mendez also said he was in contact with the White House and planned to return there for this summer for an internship to gain hands-on experience with politics. The university released a program called Hawks Connect this year, and STN reporter Johnny Wade went to learn more about the new app.
This year, students and fans of the Hartford Hawks were given a new app called Hawks Connect, a new way for fans to get involved.
Hawks Connect is a new program we've begun this year where we are using this to reward, incentivize, and engage our fans, including the students here at Hartford. So it's a lot of fun way for people to be part of the action while watching the Hawks in action.
By signing up with Hawks Connect, fans will receive an official Hawks fan ID, which will give them access to a ton of prizes and perks.
You can get rewards to get gift certificates to local establishments, opportunity to get access to things that a traditional fan couldn't get. And it also allows fans to do games like game predictions, daily trivia, there's contests, so it's a lot of fun things.
Students can also follow up on the Hawks games live, and they can use the app whenever to earn special offers.
It's not just when you're at a game, it's when you're watching the game when the Hawks are on the road, or every day you should log in and check to see what promotion is running.
This program is planned to continue even after this basketball season to show support to all the teams on campus.
You could download the Hawks Connect app for iPhone by going to the App Store, or you can go online to connect.hawks.com for more. We have more stories to go into this year for this year's Year in Review. Find out the response from the university after a serious flu outbreak on campus. And an incredible story of a group of Hartford students making a difference for amputees in Peru. We talked to some of those students on their experiences. And with the renovations to the University Commons, find out what Dining Services is doing to help students eat healthy. We'll be right back.
And Shelter Pets make Super Pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpet.org.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
You're watching STN Channel 2 News.
So here we have Chris DeGray with us, who took a look into a medical ordeal on campus. Chris, what do you have for us?
Yeah, we all saw many students fall ill to the flu this past semester, and the university even quarantined some of those who caught the bug. We went to speak to health services about the outbreak and what students could do. In past years, the flu virus has been associated with nausea and sore throats. This year, however, other symptoms have been more prevalent.
But that sudden onset of the body aches, some of the cough, and a really bad headache. That's really what we're seeing, and it comes on pretty quick.
If students feel these symptoms, they should go to health services on campus or their primary doctor services. But there are many ways students can avoid getting the flu altogether.
But every time you go in with a group, we're just infecting, and more people are going to be sick. So, you want to stay away from people who are ill, and eat right, get your rest, and make sure that a lot of hand washing. That's really the best thing you could do for any virus.
Additionally, the university has taken serious precautions to stop the spread of the flu around campus, including quarantining flu-ridden students.
What we're trying to do, if students that do come down with the flu live locally or within, say, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, we're asking actually that they go home.
If a student is unable to go home, health services are asking that these students stay isolated in their room for 5 to 7 days until they are free of the flu virus.
DeGray also reported that the flu vaccine has not been very successful this year, with only a 22% success rating. The vaccine does, however, suppress the flu and its symptoms, as they are not as severe. The program Dreaming and Working Together organized a joint program with ENHP and MPO students and physicians in the Hartford area to help those who are unable to help themselves. STN reporter Joe Prinke has more.
February, a team of 17 flew to Lima, Peru to provide new prosthetics to amputees. I sat down with MPO students Graham Reck and Missy Riley to learn more about their incredible trip.
I was one of the first people to, actually enter the gymnasium as everybody's, following me, and they all just started clapping and cheering and hollering, and it was just an overwhelming experience.
With the knowledge learned in their program, the students became clinicians for the week and were able to put new prosthetics on some of the patients.
My favorite was when this guy, Felix, he was one of the upper extremity amputees, so he came up to me and he was like, look, I can write my name and I can draw these numbers. It was like he signed his name better than I could sign my name.
With their diverse team, they were able to give patients with either upper or lower extremity amputations new prosthetic limbs to help improve their lives.
We had this one patient who was a bilateral below the knee amputee. He was 80 years old. And he hadn't walked, I believe, and it was in 3 years, and he was just so eager to get up out of his wheelchair, and so grateful for us, to be coming there, taking time out of our lives to come and help him. And by the time we left on Friday, everyone walked out, so it was wonderful.
Joe Prinke, STN, Channel 2 News.
After 5 days, the team left Peru. During that time, they were able to put 57 amputees back on track to living better lives. The program is expected to continue next year. With the renovation of the University Commons completed this year, students wanted to know just how nutritious the new food actually was. So back in October, Jabari Walker went to see how students could continue to eat healthy.
The University Commons features many new food options that are available to students.
There's 10 stations, and everything is kind of made in front of you, fresh to order in small batches. So at every station, I would say besides the bakery station, there is a healthy option available at every meal.
These healthy options include kosher, pasta, and soup. And certain students also have access to the Peace of Mind Pantry.
Our Peace of Mind Pantry that we have, that's a space that we added for students who have severe allergies or really restrictive diets. Students are under a medical professional, so we're really excited about that space too.
With these food options available, most students want to know where they can go to find out more about the food they're eating.
There is a website that we have called Campus Dish that has information on the Commons food, and it's got the weekly menu. The items are hyperlinked, so when you click on the item, it takes you to a nutrition facts food label.
Students here at the University of Hartford now have many ways to eat and stay healthy. Jabari Walker, STN, Channel 2 News.
Students can look at the nutrition board located in Commons or download a smartphone app to learn more about the nutrition facts for the food served here on campus. All right, now we're going to go to you, Brendan. Please give us a taste of what sports looked like this past year.
You got it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm Brendan Madonia. It's been a great year this year in sports. We'll take a look at the biggest stories from this past season, so stay tuned because sports is next.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. Oh, and she even talks to it. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
A runner on first base. Now the big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
And now, your Channel 2 Sports.
And welcome back. Well, around this time last year, it was announced that Anton Goff would be the new athletic director here at Hartford. Well, Alex Young caught up with him back in September to find out more about his new plans for the 2014-2015 season.
With new athletic director Anton Goff only being here for 4 months, he was already planning some big changes to the university, which includes a revamped men's locker room and also the possibility of expanding the sports center.
And so we're looking at master plans of expanding this building and possibly develop a new building on campus. And so that way we can serve both populations at a high level. And that's what it's all about.
Goff also explains some strategies about what he is telling coaches to try to be successful at winning championships, with topics such as recruiting, new facilities, and also staff loyalty.
You have to go out and battle against all the big teams and recruit and bring them on campus. And so recruiting was huge for us. Then I think we talked about our facilities, making sure that we have first-class facilities, because when you do bring a potential student athlete on campus, we want to show them that, hey, we take care of our student athletes.
Fundraising is one of Goff's key things he wants to change, by doing everything he can behind the scenes to give athletes the best experience.
I think our main goal is to enhance the student-athlete experience. Right now I look at our budget and, there's some areas that we need to improve. Facilities, one, our traveling, our scholarships. We want to offer the maximum amount of scholarships that the NCAA allows us.
Goff also expresses ways of getting more fans to attend events, with ideas of getting various organizations involved. He is also optimistic about making our fan section known everywhere.
The Dirty Birds, or whatever we want to call them, to be a national organization that says, hey, other people look at us and say, man, you go to Hartford, man, those guys cheer hard, they have a great time.
Alex Young, STN, Channel 2 Sports.
Thank you, Alex. Well, this year the women's basketball team also had a great year, making it all the way to the conference finals. But now that the season's over, Benny Nieves-Romani sat down earlier in the season with the Lady Hawks seniors to discuss about the plans of their future.
Women's basketball team winding down, we're going to check on the 3 seniors and talk on some post-college plans.
As of right now, it's kind of in the air. I might do a combine to get seen to go overseas and play. I might take some time off. I might get a job with sports broadcasting, which would be nice. But as of now, I just want to, I'm focused on finishing out the year strong, and we'll see where it takes me.
Teammate Sherelle Moore has a similar plan, but with a different alternative.
I do want to go overseas and play, and if not, I want to start getting into the field of probation and state police and see where that takes me.
As for the last senior, Shanice Boltron, she takes on more of a humble approach to her time post-school.
Right now, I'm just excited to spend time with my baby sister when I get home, because I missed the whole year of her life, basically. But no, I just got my resume all in order. Just gonna start sending it out to places at home, looking to work around sports and in the media type of thing. Not like really on camera like Amber Bepko, but something having to do with sports, so.
Their time here as Hawks has given them an education, a degree, and also a new extension to their families.
I think I cherish the most the family that I've gained from it, for all my team is so important to me, and like the coaches, and that's why I came here initially is the family atmosphere.
Since we have such a family atmosphere, like we know down the road, you know, when we get married and we have a wedding, there's probably going to be like a huge section of Hartford women's basketball.
All right, and of course, there was Amber Bepko, Sherelle Moore, and Shanice Boltron in that story. And one Hawk senior that was missing from that, Katie Roth. In January, it was announced that Roth would be retiring from the team after suffering a third ACL tear. Scott Roberts has that story.
After a tumultuous career filled with highs and lows, Katie Roth is finally calling it a career. The redshirt junior announced her retirement back in January after suffering a third ACL tear in her knee.
I decided first and, you know, talked to them about my decision not trying to go ahead and play anymore, which I think was the right decision for my own safety and my own well-being.
Though the decision was tough for her, Katie says it was always something that was in the back of her mind and even led her to change the way she played on the court.
This last year especially, even though I only played for 1 or 2 months, a lot of my style of play went from, you know, trying to beat people with my physicality to thinking about the game on a more of a mental level.
But Katie's not calling it quits on basketball, finishing out the year in a student assistant role on the team's coaching staff, right next to Coach Rosati. From planning practices to watching game tapes, the Lady Hawks are helping number 22 make that transition as best they can.
You know, with helping me transition into this role, obviously they're very supportive and they want me around still, which is awesome, and I want to help them and I want to be around. So they've been integral in my transition, and they've been really helpful so far in kind of letting me get my feet wet on the coaching side.
Despite the setbacks and rehabs, Katie says she has a lot to be grateful for, and it's thanks to the relationships that she's developed over the years with everyone in the Hawks organization.
Players, past players, staff members, recruits coming in, you know, and it's like, it's really, you know, a lot of places say that they have that family atmosphere, but I think here we really achieve that.
Katie already has a bachelor's degree in communication and has 1 more year of graduate school remaining. She says after that, it's all up in the air. Scott Roberts, STN Channel 2 Sports.
And now on to a few other big stories that came out of the 2014-2015 season. Starting off with some stories from the men's soccer team. After a great run for the America East Championship, it was announced that in March that defenseman Andre Morrison and midfielder Romario Jones will be training with the Olympic soccer team for their home country, Jamaica. Also joining these two would be Hawks alum Damian Lowe. The qualifiers start in October. Sticking with soccer and the Lady Hawks, it was also a strong year for them as they made it to the conference finals against UNH. Senior Chanel Johnson had a strong year. She, for the 2nd straight year, led her team in goals, scoring 12. She also finished with a career-high 27 points. And on to the Hartford volleyball team, who for the first time since 1993 finished with a winning record. They finished the year with a record of 17-13. That's the most wins they've had since 1994, when they went 15-25. Despite the successful season, however, it was announced that Mitch Kallick would be taking over as the new head coach for the Lady Hawks in 2015. Kallick will have a similar squad than last year's team, with only 3 players not returning this coming up season. And finally, there were not 1, but 2 milestones that happened on January 19th. First, Alonzo Moore scored his 1,000th career point on a free throw on the road against UMBC. Later on that day, it was followed by Amber Bepko, who scored her 1,000th career point at home off of a 3. Moore finishes his Hartford career with 1,078 points. Meanwhile, Bepko finishes with 1,172. She also tied the school record for 3-pointers made later this season in the conference final against Albany.
Brendan, I don't know about you, but I think this whole year has been such an amazing year for STN.
Absolutely, just flew by. It seems like it just started, and can't believe it's already over.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you all so much for a great year. We'll all be back in September. I'm Ashley Kaufman.